good morning to anybody that may be watching. Doesn't matter if you are, doesn't matter if you're not. I will endeavour to, if just before we get started, this video will be uploaded to YouTube under the heading abuse or abusive relationships, or just abuse maybe. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you can comment on the actual thing and I can see your comments. Because I think if you don't subscribe, I won't be able to see your comments. So just if you want to share anything with me personally, you can do. Whatever you say stays between you and I. So yeah, I mean, if you want to come on the live and you want to comment publicly on Facebook, you're more than welcome to. But abuse comes in many different forms. Oh, before I start, again, this is all off the cuff. This isn't from me. This is there's going to be my experience in there as well, but this isn't from anything that I've studied or from any any university course that I've done. This is just basically what I have in my head, and my thoughts and views on this. So abuse does come in many forms. There's social media abuse, so there's like tech abuse. There's verbal abuse, there's physical abuse, mental abuse. So hello, guten Tag. So abuse is. I'll start with what majority of people will possibly experience. And the first thing is abusive relationships. Now, it's very easy for somebody to say to somebody, "You're in an abusive relationship, you need to leave." I don't think it's as cut and dry as that. I don't think it's that black and white. I think the person that's being abused has got reasons to stay, or they may think they've got reasons to stay. They may not be in a position to leave, so it might be a case of, do you know what, I want to leave, but my finances right now won't allow me to do that. Now they're targeting my mother. No love lost between her and myself, but going woman who has cancer is a new law. Well, I'm going to get on to sort of social media abuse in a little bit, Shell. So the abuse in a relationship, and like I say, it's not as cut and dry as leaving. So the person might want to leave, but might not have anywhere to go. And it's a case of, well, do you know what? I've got a kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, however many children might be, or you've just got nowhere to go, so you don't want to be homeless. So you may be sticking around because the house might be in the abuser's name. The house, and when I say abuser, Shell, we can chat, all right. You and I will have a chat, all right. We'll have a personal chat regarding this sort of stuff. So, we'll organise a time when we can sit down and have a chat, all right. Today. Abuse isn't just men abusing women. It can also be women abusing men. All right, so males abusing females, but the majority that we hear is males abusing females. Okay, or parents abusing the kids. You very rarely see, apart from the case that just happened now with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, that the woman is abusive. You very rarely hear that. I'll tell you why right now, because men feel that they're too proud. Men feel that that if they come out and say that they're being abused by their partner, wife, whoever it might be, that they're going to be seen as weakness. It's going to be seen as a weakness, and people are going to laugh at them. All right, it's not the case. It's not the case. But so abuse comes in many different forms, and when we talk about relationship abuse, remember this. And I'll go into why I'm saying this in a second. Abuse doesn't happen in a day. It happens daily. So I'll say that again. Abuse doesn't happen in a day. It happens daily. Now, what I mean when I say that is, it doesn't just happen straight away. it happens over time. So when I say it happens daily, it might not happen Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday or 30 days of the month or whatever, but it might happen on a regular basis. So when I say daily, I mean regular. All right. So abuse doesn't happen in a day; it happens daily, and you can tie it to a lot of other things in life as well. Like things don't happen in a day; they happen daily. So you got to watch out for the signs. Now, because of this day and age, probably the biggest sign ever is going to be checking phones. That's probably going to be the biggest one, checking phones. The one thing that really does grind me up when I hear people talking on phones and I see people messaging is when somebody says, "Who's that?" Well, that right there is a spark. That right there is kind of like a small spark, and small sparks get into bigger fires. So who's that? Well, it's my phone. It's my phone call. They called me. If they wanted to speak to you, they would have obviously called you or messaged you, but they're messaging me for a reason. Okay, I'm not saying be abrupt about it. Oh, it's just so and so. Okay, what do they want? Oh, just to know if this is happening. Why? Well, Yeah, but why? So it's this pressing sort of, and what it does, it just grinds you down, grinds and grinds and grinds. The thing with keypad locks on people's phones. Now I know in this day and age it's to do with people who've got a lot of detail on the phones. Some people use the phones to pay for things. So if you don't have a key lock, if you don't have a PIN code on your phone, then that can stop you from paying for things. But it's okay to let your partner know that if you've got nothing to hide, But partner shouldn't be saying, "Let me see your phone." Partner should be saying, "Where have you been?" Because these are all little triggers. When women are the worst at this. How do I look in this? How do I look in this? When they're getting dressed up or they're going for a night out or they're going for somewhere. How do I look in this? If your partner sneers at you or says, "No, I won't wear that," then that again is another sign. Telling people what to wear is again a big no-no. Mindy comes down to me. She asks me all the time. How does my makeup look? How do I look? Am I dressed okay? She's got the same answer all the time. And it's the truthful answer. Min, you look beautiful. To me, she always is. With or without makeup. To me, she always is, no matter what she wears. So I do try to, rather than have that question asked, I do try to just say, "You look beautiful today." Okay? That is kind of a good abuse, because you kind of, I don't know what the word for good abuse is. But so what you're doing is you're actually edifying that person, and you're actually, saying nice things to them. That's driving positive things into their head and into their feelings. So there is no fear there. It just so happens that me and Min were talking about the other night that, we've both been in relationships where, I know you shouldn't mind me sort of saying this, but we've both been in relationships where, there was, where are you? You're out, and where are you? You get messages. How long are you going to be? What are you doing? Who are you with? Where have you been? You've been out ages. You said you were coming on an hour ago and it's been 2 hours. That sort of thing there is just abusive. That sort of thing there is just really abusive to the individual, because then they fear, false evidence appearing real. They fear actually going anywhere. They look at the phone and, the heart starts to pound. It's like, oh crap, what have I done wrong now? What's this message going to say? What's going to happen when I get back in? And they're constantly living in fear. So that is, that sort of thing. Now, I mean, I'll be honest with you, during the COVID times, like 2020, 21, I believed we were in an abusive relationship with our government. We were being told what to wear, what not to wear, who to talk to, who not to talk to, who to go near, who not to go near, when to go out, where to go. That kind of thing is abusive. That's abusive messages that are being imposed on an individual. And that individual's got one of two choices. They can either go along with it, or they can break free from it. Now, when I say break free from it, like I said earlier, there might not be an opportunity to leave. But there's nothing wrong with speaking to somebody about it. Maybe going to a citizen's advice. Maybe going to to see a friend and talking to a friend, particularly in confidence, because the thing is, if somebody comes to you, and I've always said this, if somebody comes to you and they say this conversation is in confidence, then you have to hold it in confidence. You can't go out there and you can't spread whatever they've said about, because that confidence is then broken. Okay. If it's not held in confidence, if it's not, this conversation, look, can I talk to you privately? That to me would say, can I talk to you in confidence? Can you keep it to yourself, kind of thing? Can we keep it between us? That to me would be held in confidence. Parents can do it to the kids. And the same goes, by the way, for women to men. Where have you been? All the same traits. Some say it's narcissistic. They're just traits of somebody who is a bit narcissistic, and that's not a great place to be. It's not healthy in any relationship. Whether that relationship be with your friends, parents, teachers, colleagues, family. It doesn't matter. That kind of traits there are unhealthy and you can't really appreciate the time. You won't really be able to appreciate the time you have with your partner, with your kids, with your colleagues, with anybody else, if you are constantly thinking, what are they thinking? What's going on? Have I done something wrong? I'll say it to Mind all the time, have I done something wrong? And you just got to channel, you just got to say to yourself, right, okay, let's talk about it so that I don't feel like I'm in the wrong, because I know I'm not. But you can be made to feel that way just by somebody's actions, reactions, tonality, what they don't say, how they do say things. So you can sort of think to yourself, I've done something wrong, and that again can be slightly abusive because it plays with the mind. Okay, the physical abuse is obvious. That's totally obvious. I don't believe that that people should be hurting each other physically. Okay, I have hurt people in the past, but I don't believe, but we can change. We all change. I'm a bit more chilled out now. I'm more calm. I've found some sort of peace and happiness. So the physical abuse is visual. Okay, and it's obvious to see. Nobody should experience that. All right, now Min differs with me on this. Physical abuse will heal. There may be reminders there of a scar, whatever it might be. So there may be reminders there of physical abuse. But to me, I think that the mental and emotional abuse is harder to heal. It takes a lot longer, because the mind is a more complex thing than I believe the body is. The body's pretty simple, we know all about it. But the mind is still being studied. They say we use 10% of our brain, so You know, whatever happens in those dark places in our mind, that's where things are stored, and that's where things can get triggered. So when you get triggered, you're not triggered by an action, by somebody hitting you. You're triggered by, most people these days are triggered by something that's said. And it's like, well, you've said that. That would then lead back to something else that may have happened in their past. So mine differs, but I agree with it to a point. I think the physical abuse does heal, and yes, there will be reminders, but I think the mental and the emotional abuse that people receive is a lot harder to heal, and it will take a lot longer to heal. So we've got to be careful. I was told this years ago, and I want you to remember this: stand guard at the door of your mind. Be careful who you let in. Be careful what you let in. Okay? Sometimes you have to weed the garden of your mind as well. Don't let the weeds overgrow. Okay? So sometimes you have to go in there and you have to weed it. And that would just be taking time for yourself, replenishing yourself, replenishing what you have in here. So yeah, that's basically the physical abuse, and again the mental and emotional abuse is words. It's why are you wearing that? What are you doing there? Where? So all these little questions, and you feel like you're part of the Spanish Inquisition, and that's a wrong place to be. So seek out somebody. If you're watching this and you want to seek me out and say, James, can I have a chat? Yeah, of course you can. Even if it's just getting things off your chest. Because that's you abusing yourself. So self-abuse, drinking excessively, use of drugs, illegal substances, substance abuse, self-harming. That self-harming is broad. It's not just about razor blades or beating yourself up. Self-harming can come within as well. Self-harm is also the negative input. Self-harming is what you tell yourself on a regular basis. If you feed yourself negative thoughts, then you are self-harming. Now, we all have negative thoughts. Some we just laugh off, some we can dwell on. As someone who has mental health, I dwell on a lot. All right, I'm glad I've got my voice of reason. My woosah person. Drinking excessively is self-harm. You're harming inside. So it's not just about what happens on the outside isn't self-harm. Self-harm happens also on the inside. As somebody who's been there, excessive use of prescribed medication to want to maybe, see what happens. That's harming your body. All right? Been there, done that a few times, realised I can't do it properly, so I quit. But yeah, that's self-harm. So it's not just cutting yourself. Okay? Those scars will stay with you, by the way, for a long, long time. I've seen people in the past that have had those scars, and you see them, but you have this fear of talking about them. What's happened there, because that they're doing that for a reason, and you don't want to ask them because you don't want to trigger something for them to then go and do it again. There's people out there now that that think that a lot of people are in pain. So what they're doing is they're asking. So tell me about your past. Tell me about your mother. Tell me about your father. You can't Freud a lot of people, okay? Because it just comes across as condescending. It just comes across as patronising. So if I say to somebody, somebody maybe on this live, somebody in the future that I may be talking to face, so tell me about your father. Constantly triggered. I currently suffer with PTSD. It's hard being a girl in this day and age, being out and about publicly and getting approached by men even when they pay a compliment. If us girls don't handle the approach in the right way, that's right, yeah, we get attacked or followed, can affect us very bad. Yes, it is. Hi, Kim. Yes, it is. You know, so PTSD isn't just for military people. Post-traumatic stress disorder. I think that's what it stands for. So it is a form of PTSD. So when you're struggling with that mental health, you know, that thing that's inside your mind, then yes, you are suffering from PTSD, and that's where you need to go and see somebody. And that's somebody, you know, my advice to you would be, if you know you're suffering mentally because of some abuse that you may have received, my advice, and I'll stand by this, is to go and see a doctor. Go to your GP. Obviously all men aren't the same, but some men don't realise the compliment is still judged in our appearance. That's right, and that can have an effect on a woman. But and women also do it to men. You know, women also do it to men. Oh, look at the size of this, and look at this. You know, that's why men have a you know, small man complex, because you know so both sexes are guilty. Both sexes are guilty of having, you know, idolizing somebody, and you know, comparison. So it's like comparetheperson.com. So we've all done it. The thing is my advice to that is just take the compliment. If it's a compliment, take the compliment. Unless it's a bit sleazy. If it's a bit sleazy, then you can just, you know, my advice to that would be give them the finger. You know, or give them a look, you know. So, you know, yeah. So that's basically a simple solution to that. It can still, and yeah, and women, they do, you know, women, they're probably the worst for it, for worrying about their appearance. But why is that? Things are going okay, Kim, thank you. Why do women in particular, and it's slowly coming into males, might be evenly matched, why do women think that they have to have this appearance, this certain appearance? I'll tell you why. This then goes into social media abuse. Okay? We see people on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. I can't think of any others. I'm lost. And they're all, you know, these women are glamorous, and you know, they've got the makeup done, and you know, Min shows me quite a lot, and I find it really, really amazing. Catfishes, women that look like wow, but then they take the teeth out, and it's like whoa. Okay, so I think that a lot more people need to be genuine in their appearance, and you know, you've been made a certain way. Oh, I'm on the right medication. I gave a great psychiatrist and mental health team. I am a success story in the branches of support. We have a theme in NHS. Oh, Leeds anyways, flying the flag for reaching out for support. Totally, yeah. That's the thing, is go and see somebody who's medically trained. You know, that would be my first port of call if you're suffering any kind of abuse, is go and see somebody who's medically trained, or even, you know, even the police if you have to. It's all about the image and making people feel like if they don't fit in. Yeah, that's what social media does, and it stems from people like, you know, Kardashians, and you know, people that do, and they do. You've got to admit this, guys. Is people do use filters a hell of a lot. Okay, people do use photoshopping a hell of a lot. All right, there's so many apps out there. I could probably make myself look like James Dean, but he's got hair, exactly. But he's not fat, exactly. But he's not old, exactly. I mean, he has passed away. He's probably a skeleton now, but you know. So all these things out there, And I just think, and this is why I never edit my videos, because I just think, you know, having the truth, showing the true you. So this also can be an abusive thing, and you're abusing yourself by looking at this person saying, oh, I wish I had lips like that. You probably do, but I've noticed that they kind of go all the way up. And, you know, that's the thing is, you know, the makeup can be an amazing thing. That's why it's called make up. You never hear it called make down, do you? Oh, I forgot. If I got out my mum bun, don't matter. I have to report stalkers or inappropriate behaviour by people weekly. But at least you're doing something about it, Leanne. At least you're doing something about it. You know, I don't know what a mum bun is. I don't know what one of those is. So yeah, then goes on social media abuse. Let me try to stay on topic. Social media abuse. By looking at somebody and thinking, oh, I wish I could be like that. Well, then you now feed yourself negative energy. You know, you now feed yourself that negative thought, and you're abusing yourself. You know, and we do look at people, we do look up to people. So what I would say is realise that these pictures of these stunning men, stunning women, it means dressed down, no makeup. Oh, okay. But is that the real you? Is that how you feel? Has somebody made you to feel that way? You see, the thing is people can pass comment and say inappropriate things to us, but we've got a choice. We can either act upon it or ignore it. Best thing to do is ignore it. So yeah, so when you're looking at these pictures, realise that they are photoshopped. Realise these people have had professionals do their makeup. Realise that they've probably got the best makeup on the planet. You know, realise that these people maybe are, you know, implanting steroids into the body. You know, they maybe are taking supplements. There may be, you know, so there's maybe something else there. But don't take that as a failure for you. I hate the way I look, as I feel I look fat and not good looking, as I have had 5 children and been off my feet a few years. I let myself go, and that's why the media makes you feel. Okay, but look at 5 kids. Okay, I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know if you're trying to get a football team or a basketball team or what. I think you won away from a basketball team. You've actually got a Kumite team there, that's 5. You've got 1.5 Carter teams. First of all, stop having kids. We're overrun anyway. No, I mean, have as many as you want, as long as you can support them. That's the main thing. But you've got to think to yourself, do you know what? I've had 5 kids. No more for me. Don't worry about what other people say. Don't worry about what other people say about you. Just look at you and realise to yourself that you're important. You are special to somebody. All right, you're meant to be there for somebody. All right, and you know things happen for a reason. So maybe you're meant to have 5 kids. Maybe you're meant to, but if you feel, the thing is, if you feel fat, again, social media pressure, big major player in abuse. You can do something about it. I really should take my own words on this, but again, I can't get up the stairs without being out of breath. You can exercise, you can diet, you can fix that. And all these videos out there that are saying, "Oh, I've had 5 kids, and you know, look at my waist now." Yeah, I don't think that's right. I don't think you know, it's just a gimmick. They're just selling videos. My lad is always saying he's 16 next month, and he'll to go a place, but I just feel that place. Right, but don't feel that way. You can change that thought process. Again, I think I'm going to go into another video of thoughts and actions. So you're giving me ideas here. So if I don't answer your questions, because it might not be, it might be another topic then I will do. Well, how? I'll tell you what to do. If you do have any questions that don't relate to sort of abuse, then maybe inbox me, maybe send me a message, and I can probably do a video on them for you specifically, and you can watch it at a later time. So maybe share your feelings, because I get my ideas from videos, from from just things that spark up. And again, I want to do more self-help videos. So inbox me. I'll do a video based on what you're saying. All right, because we are going off topic. We are sort of going into, I feel fat and frumpy, this, that, and the other. But that's you as an individual. That's not somebody abusing you. You're abusing yourself. So yeah, social media abuse. Got to watch out for your kids, because they're all on this TikTok or whatever and doing this sort of stuff. Watch out for your kids' phones. Just make sure they're not being abused. I'm not saying check your kids' phones. I'm just saying check in on from time to time. Are you okay? If there's any, and let your kids know they can come and talk to you. I never had the. I do more now with my mum, but I never had that father figure that said to me, "Come and talk to me. If you want to speak to me, speak to me." If I wanted to find him, he'd be in the pub. He was never really there per se, and he was abusive. He was an abusive person, and I haven't spoke to him in 7 or 8, maybe 9 years. Very abusive. I just wanted some questions answering as to why he did what he did. The thing is, as parents, and as we grow up, if we grow up with abuse, we can break that cycle. We can break that chain. All he did for me was show me how to not. No, unfortunately. No, still very much alive. No. That's another story. But no, he's not. We can break that cycle. Step down, London, amazing. Oh, it wasn't much of a man. So what he did, and this is again, so your comment came, is they teach us how to not do things. I'm not going to read that out, Leanne. I don't sort of wish that on anybody, per se. It wouldn't bother me if people disappeared tomorrow. I've got people that wouldn't bother me if he disappeared tomorrow. But I honestly don't know how I'd react if I got the news that he had passed away. I honestly don't know how I'd react right now. And no matter what they've done to us, no matter the trauma that they've caused, I think we still need to have a bit of an open mind and an open heart, I suppose. So yeah, back to abuse, social media. Now, social media abuse can also be berating on social media. I'm receiving that right now. Hello, my lovely. Could also be berating on social media. Well, yeah, very true. To my lovely lady. So yeah, look, where was I? Social media abuse. Oh yes, I'm going through that right now, and I've been through it before in the past. Fake accounts, they're sneaky. They'll say things to you, but they won't show you who they actually are. They might show you who they are to begin with, but then in the background they've got a fake account that is. I was an abuser. I was in a care most of my life. It happens. So you've got your fake accounts there. They're known as trolls in this day and age, I suppose. I try not to hide behind a fake. I don't hide behind a fake account. All right, I'll say that. I do not hide behind a fake account. I put myself out there, and what comes of it comes of it. You know, if people don't like what I say, you know, if they berate me, if they slag me off, if they call me names, then that's just, you know, I have bitten in the past, but that's just them, you know. That's just, they don't agree with what I'm saying, so that's just their thoughts, their feelings. They're entitled to them, you know. At one point it did have an effect on me, but, you know, I've kind of learned to not let it, you know. Sometimes it still has, you know, a bit of an anxiety feeling, but I just think, you know what? I'm not in the wrong here. You know, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just trying to get on my life and speak in my mind. Hey, my first heart. So yes, social media abuse, and it comes in people on your posts and they're slagging you off, but the thing with those posts is you've got two choices, and private messages and things like that. You've got two choices. Again, you can either react to them, or read them and delete them, or just delete them. You can block these people. We have the, you know, I'm going to sound like a rattle giffer now. Many, many years ago, we never had the block button. If you wanted to block somebody, you had to unplug the phone line. If you wanted to block somebody, you had to walk a different route. If you wanted to block somebody, you didn't answer the door. You know, these days, you know, that doesn't happen, but we can block them. And then they can then go into their little hovel and say, "Oh, I've been blocked. I win." Okay, well, do you win, or do I just not want your negative process in my life right now? So there's only so much a person can take when it comes to social media abuse and message abuse, name calling. But remember, sticks and stones and all that, we got taught that at school. I need some elixir. Thank you, Bob. What? Shouldn't say that, otherwise I'm going to be calling you it. Thank you for what? For what, my darling? By the way, she's my voice of reason. I mentioned a voice of reason earlier. Yep. Yes, I am. Oh, who's laughing? Who's laughing? No, I'm joking. You can't block the messenger stalkers, the foot fetish message, the if you're married, the chances. Oh yeah, but I wouldn't say that's. You can block them. You can block them all. One at a time. One at a time. So you can turn it down one at a time. So that's pretty much what I've got on media abuse. I've done abusive relationships. We can also have abusive relationships. You know, kids can be abused as well. And you can. I blocked money. Yes, she has. To be honest with you, Leanne, Mindy would have. You'll have to tell me if I'm wrong on this, but she would have over 100 friend requests from. I'll message you later. Got to talk about. No worries. Yeah, I'm happy to help, Kim. She would have over 100 message requests, and I would say 90% of those were from men. And I'm like, oh my god. And Mindy's the sort of person that doesn't delete anything. So yeah, and she blocked them. She's block, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to see her block list. Oh, okay. 590 friend requests from men. Did I kick off? Was I abusive? No. Because I can't. It's not her fault that they're seeing her and sending a friend request. Again, we've got to think about that, you know. Could we kick off? I've had the police secure all my accounts and they've never been able to stop random messages and friend requests. Just block them. Delete and block. I think if you delete a friend request, they can't find you again. I'm not sure how it works, but you just got to delete and block, all right? Some will. Nope, you laughed at it. Yeah, so I could have gone the other way. I could have been abusive. If it was an abusive relationship, it could have been, why are these people messaging you? Why are these people? But that's not her fault. She can't stop every Tom, Dick and Harry sending her requests or message or whatever it might be. She can't stop that. She can't stop somebody picking up the phone and calling her. She can't stop the actions of another person. That's not her fault. But some people would be abusive towards it. But then we've got to stop and think, well, why am I Oh, that's Dougie. Hey, Doug. Do you want to see Dougie? Hi, Doug. Yeah, I know, every night. So, he's my boy. Yes, he's my boy. So yeah, So yeah, we've got to think of, the actions of another person. Is that their fault? So maybe before you want to kick off with somebody and be abusive, stop and think. Right, what can they actually do about this situation right now? Are my actions or my words going to affect this in a positive or negative way? And then the next thing is rouse my fellow, and he says it don't happen to anyone else's wife, so I'm going to show him this. Well, you can, yeah. 590. Remember that number? It was. I just sort of thought to myself, wow. He is. Oh, he's up. Oh, Dougie. Yeah, he is. He's got a big dangly tongue, ain't you, pug? So yeah, and then the next thing is kids being abused. Now, kids being taken from the supermarket isn't I would say abuse, but it's going to affect them later on, because it's like, that's how I've been spoken to all my life, so that's how I speak to people. Unless they have the mentality to break the chain, to break that chain. So the people that we talk to, our next generation, we can decide if they're abusive or not. So if I speak to my son in an abusive manner and I abuse him, etc., which I don't, but I'll abuse anyone that tries to abuse him. No, I'll just hurt them. So he would then go on to his next life, go into his adulthood, thinking, well, that's how it is. That's just how it is. That's how you talk to women. That's how you talk to your partner. That's how you talk to people. That's how you approach conflict. That's how you approach a person. And that would be learned behaviour. I was lucky that this is the one good thing that GKR did for me. I was lucky that I found GKR, because they taught me to break learned behaviour and learn another behaviour. Otherwise, I could have been the same as my dad, and that's not what I want to be. But I had always said to myself that, you just show me how not to do it. You show me how not to be. So that was probably, again, my mentality as well, and, just me being the bigger, the better person. I better not do that. People think I'm Illuminati. So yeah, if we see something, we have to say something. Okay? If we see something, we have to say something. Far too many kids have been brushed under the carpet because nothing's been done. I don't think the services that are provided are doing enough, can do enough. I think there can be more that can be done. It just takes a special person to do it, really. But I think, we need to look out for signs, and, or they bashed into the door. Really? Fell down the stairs. Really? Fell off the bike. Okay, well these are accidents, but how many times would one person bash into the same door? How many times would a child fall off the bike? it doesn't. It can't be the same excuse every time. And when you're getting the same excuse as to why a child's always injured, you've got to ask yourself: is there some abuse going on there? And what can I do about it? And you can be, as a concerned person, maybe report that. Not because you've got a vendetta against the individual, but because you're just going in there as a concerned bystander, an innocent bystander. Dustbin Menaria. So it's not because you hate that person, you want their kids taken off them. It's just, you know what, I've seen this, I don't like it, I think there's something wrong, but to make sure, I'm going to pass it on to somebody. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to pass it on to somebody else. I see this person, this adult being abused. I think they're in an abusive relationship. I'm not sure, but I'm going to pass it on to somebody else because I'm not qualified to deal with that. And maybe somebody else can pop around and just check up on them. But then that person who's been checked up on then can't start getting narky and say, who the F reported me? If it's genuine concern, then it's genuine concern. There might be nothing there. There might be nothing untoward, but there could be genuine concern for you, somebody else, whoever it might be. Squeeze me. So yeah, that's basically my chat on abuse. Again, I'll post this on YouTube on The Bearded Opinion. So if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Not to get my subscriptions up because I don't want internet fame, but just so that you don't miss videos and stuff. If you're watching this from an outside source or if it's shared to you, feel free to add me on Facebook. That way you don't miss videos when they are live and you can pass your comment. The next thing is, if you do want to private message me because there's a topic that you want me to discuss, you want me to talk about, or you just want to chat, then feel free to do so. All right, there's only so much time in a day, so if I get inundated with messages, which I probably won't do, but if I do, then I will get around to answering them. The thing with again, this is also abuse. The thing with having a message out there or a comment on a channel or on a feed being ignored, that's kind of, they don't like me. I don't think they can stop them sending Messenger. It's annoying getting them, but just ignore it, lovely. Yeah, agreed. Totally agreed. It's hard to ignore sometimes, though, isn't it, Mind? We feel the need to reply. We feel the need to say something. So this, again, can be something that you might think, I'm being ignored. If I don't see the comment, I can't. I do try to reply, whether it be a like, whether it be an emoji, or whether it be a typed reply. I do try to reply. Sometimes it might be a reply in a video form. So if I can't see your comment, please make sure you subscribe, etc. So I can see your comment, so I can at least not abuse you by ignoring you. I don't. You do though. I don't, you do though. I'm lost, man. We'll talk when you get home. I'm joking. We will talk when you get home. Missed you. Not seen you for ages. So I'm gonna say, stay safe on this with this sort of stuff. Look out for the signs. Get annoyed and reply. Yeah, I do get annoyed and reply. Because it's out of my control. I'm a control freak. So stay safe in this situation. Look out for the signs. Be thoughtful of somebody else instead of just you as an individual. So be thoughtful of others is what I'm saying, basically. Don't jump in feet first. Don't go into it like a bull in a china shop, because there might be a reason. And when you ask questions, ask calmly. See ya. Ask calmly, and not in a condescending, quizzitive, negative, wanting to know kind of way. Pressurizing. Who's that? So there's ways and means of doing it. So you could say, for example, I'll use that as an example. Oh, who's that? Oh yeah, who was that? Who's that? So it's different words, same words, different tonality. So just be aware of that kind of stuff. All right. I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'll see you in the next video. Send me your suggestions if you want a specific chat. Okay. All right.